It's called Live Large. Live large, right? What's up for you? How big can you imagine your life to be? We set this year at Unity San Francisco as our year of abundance, right? We claimed it, we called it. I had a logo produced for it. You see the new indications on the PowerPoint. We're living in the year of abundance. And it's a little scary, a little frightened, because when you claim something, in New Thought, we know when we claim something, everything that's not like it will appear. So all of our, so we're claiming our year of abundance. And I saw this great quote this week as I was contemplating this, and it says, "Be really clear. Enlightenment is a violent process." Be really clear. Enlightenment, awakening is a violent process because you must let go of and destroy all the false beliefs you're holding. You must let go of all of those things that you think are so precious, that are your identity and your personality and how you operate in the world, that have got you exactly where you are. But do you want to go beyond this? Do you want to live a life more fulfilling? Do you want relationships to actually serve you? I almost fell off the platform on that one. It's a long way down, too. I'm back. Okay. Do you want relationships that actually fuel your life? Yes. Do you want health that keeps you going no matter what? Do you want an understanding of vitality and vibrance in your life, that no matter what the ache or the pain or the diagnosis is, that you keep showing up? Yes. Do you want work that lights you up from within, that when you show up for work, you know you're making a difference? You bet. Yeah. Do you want all the money you need to make that happen? Now, not to be worried about where it's going to come from. Well, guys, it's all an inside job. It is all happening right here. I know it looks like it's happening out there. I know you think it's something else or someone else, because you know why I know that? Because I do. I catch myself thinking, God, only that was different. Well, it's not different. It is what it is. I love that phrase. It is what it is. How am I going to be? It is what it is. How am I going to be with it? And that is the key to unlocking everything. Another quote that I came across this week as I started this study, one of my favorites, Thoreau. I went into the woods because I wished to live deliberately. Oh, I wish to live deliberately. We're just not going to take what's coming. We're going to live deliberately. Wow. And not when I came to God to die, to discover that I had not lived. I did not wish to live what was not life. Living is so dear. Nor did I wish to practice resignation unless it was quite necessary. I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life. I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life. To live so sturdily and Spartan-like that as to put route to all that was not life, and to cut a broad swath and shave close. To drive life into a corner and reduce it to its lowest terms. Reduce life to its lowest terms. Meaning its purest, its most essential, the most important. I wish to suck the marrow out of life. So funny that when we decided to do this, and I knew we were going to launch January talking about this, I went to the grocery store, the Molly Stones around the corner, to get my lunch, and I'm waiting to check out, and there in the magazine rack they keep there is Oprah. And she's standing at the Grand Canyon going like this, "Live big!" And her whole January issue is about living large, about living as big as you want, and calling the year a year of abundance as well. She asked her staff, "How do you want to experience this year? What do you want to do?" And I ask each and every one of you, what do you want to do this year? What do you want to manifest? What do you want to see and know and be? How do you make a difference in the world, starting right here and right now this year? It's time to stop acting small. It's time to stop pretending that what you do doesn't matter. A butterfly can flap its wings across the ocean, across the Pacific Ocean, and we get a Pacific storm. Right? Everything is interconnected, and we are all one. One here. You know, I wish to suck the marrow out of life. It reminded me of another one of my favorite quotes. Because I'm a musical theater person, it's actually from Auntie Mame. It's from Mame. And it is, "Life's a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death." Life's a banquet. Right? Do you believe that? Do you know that life's a banquet? To celebrate the abundance that is all around. And if you don't, if you're not experiencing that, I'm not saying this to shame you, but check in. To check in with yourself and realize that, oh, I'm not experiencing life as a banquet. And I heard a minister once use this analogy of it. It's a buffet. Get up and get it. Get up out of your seat and walk over to the table over there and take what you need. Don't sit there complaining that the waiter's not serving you. It's a buffet table. And you know, and a lot of times when we do this anyway, we pick up our tray or our basket and head over to the buffet table, and we look down and our basket is filled with resentments, filled with grievances, filled with I can'ts, filled with I don't have room, there's not enough time, I'm too old, I don't have the right education, I don't have the right job. Well, a lot of your work is emptying that tray, emptying that basket before you get over to the buffet table, because all that good you want to pile on won't stick. It'll fall right off the tray unless you made room for it in your life. Like we did last week in the burning bowl. Right? Making room for your good in your life is essential. And it's not just once a year. Okay, hate to tell you folks, we did the burning bowl, it was great, but we've got to do that constantly. I know I do. How many layers does this onion have? I have shared with you before that sometimes I have to catch my breath because I was like, I thought I had released that resentment. And that little tug of pain or that tightness in my stomach will hit me again. When I was in ministerial school, we go through these trials by fire called licensing and ordination interviews. You walk into a room, there's a panel of ministers who you have to do a presentation for, and they grill you with questions to see how you'll respond. And one of them was always, do you understand our prosperity teachings? And to which I replied, yes, I understand them very well. Since I've been here at school, I've put on 20 pounds. Packed on the abundance to create this shield around myself. Because I felt like I needed the comfort as I did the work. It's taken years, but I finally started to release it. To step into that understanding that my perfect weight is my perfect weight, wherever it is. I also joked with them that, I do have an understanding of abundance. I have an apartment in New York City, in Manhattan. I have a home in San Francisco. I go to school full-time, as I told them, and I don't have a job. I think that's pretty abundant. And since I have more than a job, I have 2 jobs, and kids, and family, husband, and all those kind of things, but it has become so much for me not about stuff. It's more than that. Stay with me here, because this is not written down. Abundance for me has literally just become about my mental state. Right? Has literally become just about consciousness. Has nothing to do with stuff. And I know that's true because it matters so little. Doesn't mean I don't appreciate them. In fact, I appreciate it even more. I love that tune, whoever's it is. Of course, it's our musical diva. Is that right? Another gift to the abundance. What is the tune? What is it?
Harry Potter.
Oh, it's Harry Potter. Oh.
The musical diva is a nerd.
The minister's a nerd. Oh yeah. Should we do a Harry Potter series? Yes, let's do a Harry Potter series. That'll be fun. Okay, see? Boy, there's a million tangents we could go on. My understanding of abundance is so transformed by my teaching of it. And this wish for all of you is to understand and to live into, no matter what's going on in your life, that you can live in this idea of abundant flow. We teach, and I now believe wholeheartedly, that God is always providing everything we need. Always providing everything we need. The only thing that's keeping it away from me, or you, or this church, this community, is our beliefs and thoughts that block it. Our beliefs and thoughts of lack, limitation, hardship, and not aware of the abundant flow. God is, the universe is, seeking to give you everything. She is working to give you everything. I put it this way. The universe does not have favorites. Hear that? The universe does not have favorites. It's not giving more to someone else and withholding it from you. God does not have favorites. She loves all of her children equally. Wait, I think I just heard someone say, "You don't know my mother." Did you say that out loud? Now, that may be very true, but you've then equated God with your mother. And for a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old, that might be very much appropriate. But we're all adults in this room, I think. Some days, depending on how I show up. Whatever your mother did or didn't do does not mean that that's how God holds it, that the universe holds it. I think our current political discourse is proof, and our current political situation in this country is proof that God doesn't have favorites. But that's my own personal opinion about the election. That the idea, when you hold of abundance, Donald Trump is a wonderful arbiter of abundance. He didn't pay any taxes for the last 20 years, federal taxes. Right? Right?
Right.
I mean, that's in public record, right? Wow. It's not about God's favorite son. It's not about whether you're a good boy or girl. Get that? It's not about you being good that you get benefits in life. You get all of it, regardless, because you are divine expressions. All equal to the universe, to God, to the divine. We are all good. Nothing you've ever done, nothing you've ever thought, nothing you've ever said, nothing you've ever withheld to keep your good away from you. Period. But what can keep your good away from you is what sits right between your ears. Your belief that you're not good enough. Your belief that other people are bad and wrong and evil. And we've said it before, but I'll say it again. That's like taking poison and wishing the other person would die. You're the recipient of those negative and hateful thoughts. You're the first recipient of that anger and that bile. And then you wonder why your life isn't working. There's an opportunity here to release resentment, to release guilt, and to step into abundance. I've laid it out in the course. For those of you who've taken it, here's a little refresher. And we're going to go over it again and again and again because I need to. I need to. I need to remember that no matter what someone else does, they're not doing it to me. They're doing it for their own reasons. And when I can shift from blame and fear and anger to love, to loving, I'm going, God, what pain you must be in to make that choice. Not in a condescending way, but in a compassionate way. And go, oh, come here, my baby. Let me hug you. Let me hug you. You know, metaphysically, metaphorically, and literally. To hug everyone else on the planet and know that they're doing really the best they can. Really the best. The first steps are committing. Do you want to commit to living big? And what does living big mean for you? It could mean, living big could mean letting go of the job. Sitting in a seminary or an ashram or a place of wholeness and abundance. Sitting there. That could be living big for you. What is it? Is it fulfilling that dream of a career? Commit to it. See it. Because remember, what happens in vagueness stays in vagueness. If you haven't thought about it clearly, what is your good? What is large for you? Do it. Are you afraid? I am. Afraid to claim it? Does it sound arrogant? Remember, your playing small does not serve the world. Your playing small does not serve the world. Play large. Play big. Be Oprah. Be Oprah. Stand there at the Grand Canyon and say, this is mine. This is mine. Vision it. See it. Next steps. Act positively. The power of positivity is amazing. Amazing. It's not just affirming. It's not just saying the affirmations over and over and over again. It's living from an attitude of positivity. Stepping in and going, I know the good's here. I know it is, and I demand to see it right now. Not to give in to the dark side, Luke, but to step up and live knowing that there is a solution, even when you can't see it. And what we do for that is prayer. To step up and pray with the prayer chaplains, to join the prayer chaplain team, to call silent unity, and use what unity has given the world, the best gift I think unity has ever given the world, affirmative prayer. Dear God, I am grateful for today I rose. For today I got up, and I can and will make a difference in the world because I am here, and you are right here with me. that daily prayer of thank you. Thank you for it all. For all these amazing people who showed up here today, who will carry this message out to another 10 or 20 or 30 people today. Thank you for the opportunity to change the world. And then self-awareness and forgiveness. Self-awareness, knowing, recognizing those voices in your head that blame other people and say you can't. To discover where those voices came from and then forgive the people who planted them in your head and forgive yourself for repeating them much more than they ever did. Oh yeah, I've said it to myself 10,000 times. Oh, forgive me. Forgive me. That kind of deep, important shadow work and release is essential to abundance. To let go of our negative self-image and the negative world image. Purpose is our next. Calling. Think for a second. Close your eyes. What are you here to do? What are you here to do? If it scares you, good. If you don't know, keep exploring. What lights you up? What sets you on fire? What makes you jump out of bed? What is your true purpose? When you can hear that and see it or get a glimmer of it, you really know what you can't stop doing. And then, as you open your eyes, it depends on what I call grit. Grit. There's an old John Wayne movie called True Grit. It's about perseverance. It's about tenacity. It's about keeping going no matter what the world tells you. Right? Misa's a professional singer. If she was like me, when I was in show business too, how many people told you couldn't do it? Right? That you'd never make a living at it, girl. Oh, you better keep your day job. Right? It's like,
what do you really do?
Yeah, what do you really do?
You're a beach play, but no, what's your real job?
One of my sister-in-law at the time said to me when we were in New York and we were seeing a Broadway show and we were looking at it, and she said to me, she goes, looked at all the actors on stage and said, do they pay them? And that's our contemporary mindset of, oh my God, some things have value and some things don't. Right? Some things are what you do for a living, or some things are you do for fun. Well, what if you got paid to do what you like most? I do. I do, right? What if you got paid to do what you like most? That's what I wish for all of you is prosperity. Get paid for what you like to do most. And if you're doing something you don't like to do most, change that. I don't mean quit. If that's what you want to do, quit. But what I mean is change how you bring your attitude to it. Change how you bring yourself to it. And like what you do, find one little kernel of what you do that you enjoy and grow it. Plant it in the soil and water it and nurture it and have fun. Bring fun to your job. It's an inside job. Bring abundance to your work. Don't expect to get abundance from your work. Bring it to it. And then the last thing, our last steps in our course is flexibility and celebration. We've said it many times here before, but I think it bears repeating. If your good doesn't show up like you think it should have shown up, shows up in a different form or in a different vehicle or a different person, it's probably a sign it's from God, not from your ego. right? And it's probably a sign that your good can come in infinite ways, and that our own thinking is what's limiting us. How do you expect it to show up? How will it really show up? Be flexible. Be flexible enough to breathe into that and go, wow, I'll celebrate this. My dreams are fulfilled in the moment, right now. My dreams are fulfilled. I can say that. That doesn't mean that I don't long and desire and dream about bigger goals, living large. But right here in the moment, there's this divine paradox that all of my dreams are fulfilled. Every single one of them. And I'm still dreaming. I'm still visioning. I'm still celebrating what will be. This is what I wish for all of us this year. And for this place we call Unity San Francisco. Another one of the great quotes. Everyone wants to grow. We want to grow the church. We want to grow our finances. I know you want to grow your relationships. And no one wants to change. But this place can't grow and stay the same. It's impossible. It cannot stay the same and grow. You cannot stay the same and grow. This country can't stay the same and grow. My little one can't stay the same and grow. The amazing thing I was sharing with somebody happened this morning as I was leaving. It was hard to get her up this morning. I didn't want to wake her, so that's why part of the reason she's at home. But when I was ready to go, I was all dressed, and she was running around the living room, and usually she cries. She doesn't like the separation. It's good attachment, but she cries when I do that. But today, she was saying bye-bye, and she came over, and she gave me a hug and a kiss on the lips. Aww. In a conscious understanding of that I would be back, and that she was saying goodbye, and she was safe. And that's a huge milestone of growth for a baby. Those of you who are parents who know that. No, it's like that moment happens, and you're like, oh, oh. That's what I wish for all of you. Those huge milestones of growth, where you realize you're safe, that you can bless who's leaving, and know that your good is still here. That you're safe, and that you can transform your life. That's a year of abundance. We will live through it and into it all together. And we will keep finding new ways to look at it and to experience it, to share it from here. I invite you, when you have abundance and prosperity testimonials, to let me know so we can include them in part of service. When you share your journey, you unconsciously give others the permission to let their light shine too. Your being big empowers others. Let's take this to our time of meditation.